Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Let me show you how to properly trade liquidity without marking so many things that you would wonder that, oh, this could be so easy if you master it. It is purely mechanical and the entries are equally mechanical and everything is liquidity based. So when we have two candle close in a direction, we look to take at retest when liquidity is already purged. I will show you how I came up with that zone. We will have, this would be like about 19 pips or 20 pips stop loss, and then since it's a counter trend, we just target a 1 to 4, or you can target a maximum of 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 if you are somebody who like taking trade. We look to take trade at the retest of this candle here, so this would be a maximum of 1 to 4. Obviously 1 to 4 you should be leaving this trade, but if you wanted to hold for 1 to 5, I don't know if it went through. I'm going to show you an example of such beautiful trade. So let's see if it went for a 1 to 5 or close to that, but the ideal take profit should be 1 to 2. We prefer 1 to 4 if you are dealing with a counter trend. So not sure if it hit 1 to 5 with the 19 point something pip stop loss, but this was too much unnecessary pressure. You could have just left somewhere here because it was already 1 to 4, and it was unnecessary to leave the trade close to the other day. But as you can see, even if you are people who had placed take profit, it went for nearly a 1 to 6 risk to reward, which we always look for. So the ideal one should have been a 1 to 4. 1 to 4.5 should have given you plus enough what we call enough commissions. You should have paid enough commission. If you're targeting a 1 to 3, this is where our entry should have been, at the retest of this particular candle here. So if you're trading 1 to 3 risk to reward, you need to take at least 1 to 4 so that you can accommodate for something to do with the spread, commissions and other things. So this is a very beautiful trade that went for nearly a 1 to 5, 1 to 6 thereabout. So if you took it a retest here, targeting at least a 1 to 5, I think it went through nicely. You needed not to wait until the second day to take this trade. Immediately this bullish here was formed, could have just exited immediately, or look to see if you can get some push down and then you walk out with your 1 to 4. Very nice trade. So ideally this is our checklist that we use. We don't just trade rumors. I trade backtested data. I backtest daily for at least 1 to 2 hours daily. Even today I've already backtested, and I know that whatever I am taking is profitable in the long run. It is so simple. You don't need to mark so many things. You just need to know simple liquidity, and that is why it is called simple liquidity, SMC trading strategy. So we focus on only looking for our A setup so that we can all win. Now what is the point? The point is to check the daily time frame and know whether you should be taking trades that are home runs, trade that you can hold for a 1 to 20 risk to reward if you are getting these entries at broad trend. But if you are getting them out of trend, that you are taking counter trend, that is what the daily will tell you to just focus on getting 1 to 4 and leave the market. Anything above 1 to 4 is very good, because we are talking about, we are looking to take 10 trades and then execute them perfectly and hope that we get at least a 30% win rate, which this strategy has got very more than that. But we lower our expectations, because peace begins when expectation end. So we lower our expectations so that we have peace of mind and trade peacefully. So there are two options of getting entries. You look for liquidity either in 1 hour raid or 4 hours raid. So option 1 is always for the 4 hours. You switch to 4 hours and check liquidity raid or week offs, and then shift to 15 minutes to get entries at 15 minutes double closure in our direction. So in this case we use 2 double closure of 5 minutes candle time frame. Why? Because we were monitoring, there was no liquidity rates in 4 hours, and therefore the only option was to look for entries on 1 hour. So no raids in 4 hours. You shift to 1 hour and check liquidity raid or week offs, and shift to 5 minutes, wait for double closure in your direction and take entry. Very simple. you mark 1 hour where liquidity should be rated. I'm just about to show you. Or if you want a detailed course, a detailed explanation of all this, here I've uploaded a 2 hours video. Just check on it and then download it if you want and be watching it. I was with my guys that I trade with. I was explaining to them all this concept with several examples in it, that I'm very sure that after the 2 hours you shall have understood the concept. So this is a very good trade. So after seeing double closure in 5 minutes, we enter the retest, or you can just enter here and take the trade. Stop loss above here. If you are wicked out again, it means the liquidity was not enough, and therefore you just look to see the same thing happening again. Liquidity raid again, you see double closure in a direction, we enter again. Now for the SL, we take few pips above or below the 5 minutes if you are using 1 hour for entry for liquidity, and 15 minutes double closure in your direction. So few pips just above here, you can have it as tight as there, but that would be unnecessary. Maybe you could just place 20 pips stop loss, would be fine. Now TP and risk management, at least a 1 to 4 RR and BE when you see break of structure in 5 minutes. So when this was closed here, we could have halved our stop loss. So when we go into such deep ones, we could now bring our stop loss now somewhere here. So until the time we want to leave, you don't need to be so much selfish. You cannot leave the market some few coins to deal with. Again, for psychology part, we just focus on 10 trades rule. If the analysis is right, it will always play out. The expectation should be a loss, while a win is just a favor. So don't turn favors into right. This win here is just a favor, so don't turn it into right. That is for the psychology part. Always expect a loss. Now an example of that trade is here. This is the discussion group, is free, you can join. I only have this one discussion group. So this is we take so many trades, as you can see, and everybody is very transparent with whatever they are doing here. The concept is the same. So let me check. So there are so many trades here we take. You can see we take so many trades. People take trades here and people are winning. You can join here, it's for free. And then so this is the trade example I'm showing you here. So this is one of them that went for a 1 to 12. I've already recorded a video about it. If you've not watched it, check there is that video. Now the group is free. This is where you join, and then when you leave a comment, automatically you are directed to this group, and then you join the winning team. Now if you are active in this group, I will be personally inboxing you like these guys here, and then you join a meeting. This is me in the Zoom meeting discussing with the boys the strategy. So only active people. I don't want lazy people to join here. So if you are active, you can join in the discussion group and then ask all your questions, and then you will be getting such opportunity to join me over the weekend as we discuss past trades and other trades. Now if you're somebody who only learn by being held the hand, this is the outline. You can use YouTube to learn. This is the whole true SMC and liquidity. You can pause the video and go through it and learn that. If you want me to hold your hand, this is all I'll do for you, plus the other ones. So I'll hold your hand to this particular thing. You can pause and read the terms and conditions and people who join here, so that you know which kind of category of persons you will be joining there. So that is it. So let me break down this trade very fast for you. So where is the 1 hour starting? So the 1 hour started right there. So we shift to daily time frame and check the direction. The direction, as we can see, two closure in our direction in one direction confirms that the trend is currently bullish. 1 2, this confirms that the trend could be now bullish, and therefore sales are short term. Now we go to 4 hours and see that as much as we are looking for sales, the momentum is still on the downside, but that is not important. What is important is that there's no liquidity raid. This was not traded, this was not traded, this was not traded. So probably we can go to 1 hour and find trades. All this I'm rushing over because within the 2 hours I've explained all of them in details, so that is why I'm slightly rushing them. So this is the checklist. I don't know why it just disappeared. So this is the checklist we are using now. Let me clear everything just a little bit. We are almost done. I don't want to waste your time. So as you can see, why is this thing not pasting? It is wasting my time. So this, we've already seen that the daily is buying, so sales will be short term. At the same time, we've checked and found out that there's no liquidity. Option 1, switch to 4 hours and check liquidity raid or week offs, and then shift to 15 minutes and get entries at 15 minutes double closure in our direction. If we check here, we don't have 4 hours. So raiding, we check on option 2, no raids in 4 hours, shift to 1 hour and check liquidity raid or week offs and shift to 5 minutes, wait for double closure in your direction. So we can see that the momentum is starting to build on the downward side. By seeing 2 candles on sell, we must see 2 candles. So we mark the high of this and expect that if it is raided, then that is liquidity raid of that particular 1 hour sell candle. We don't do on the opposite side. If we were buying, we would have been waiting for this to be raided or this to be raided or this to be raided, but in this case we are selling, so we are shifting gears and looking for the highs to be raided. So when that is raided, we would go to 5 minutes and wait for double closure in our direction. So you can see that what we get there. So what do we get there? Yeah, we get now a raid and then double closure. No, not yet. So no double closure yet. And then what do we get? We get 2 closure in our direction with momentum. Then we enter on retest. It is that simple, very mechanical, very easy to follow. And then when you see that, you target your 1 to 4 as the strategy recommend, and then that becomes the entire trade. So it was that simple. You can see within the shortest time possible, you already in your 1 to 4 within very simple time frame.